but that's okay. This will work pretty much for any situation that you need. Once you're done setting your controller up a specific way that you want it, go and click on Transmit. And it'll ask you if you want to continue. Click Yes, and it'll be done. Alright, now we need to go over to the Kaoss Pad to go through the settings that people seem to be having problems with. Now we're over to the Kaoss side. First thing we need to do is your software is probably only going to use either control commands or it's only going to use a certain type of command. So let's go ahead and go into external control by Shift and number 8, and then Shift number 4, which is the MIDI filter. In this case, I would recommend disabling everything except what you need. So go ahead and press the knob down on System, switch it over to Disable, and press Right. Then you're going to have to go back in, Shift 8, Shift 4, go to Note, or whatever comes up next on yours, push it in, and change it to Disable. And repeat that for everything except for CC. Command control we want to leave as enabled. If you get into something that you don't need to change, just press the tap button, and then I'll take you back. So Program 9. I'm going to go ahead and disable that as well, and Right. You may need to play around with these. Different software may react differently to them. So Clock, we're going to leave that to internal. That's not going to affect the software we're using any. Go and press tap again, and then you can go and press Shift to get out of it. So now we've got our Kaoss Pad set up to where we can use it as a MIDI controller. Let me go back to the software and show you what's going to happen now that we have all these settings set. Now if I click on Receive, I'm going to receive an error message. Usually that it's timed out or doesn't exist, and this time I got a timeout message. In order for the software to be able to communicate with the Kaoss Pad again, you're going to have to go in and re-enable all those settings. So to Shift 8, Shift 4, go through them and set them all to enable, and then Right. So with them all set up, go back in and disable this one. We can start using the Kaoss Pad as a MIDI controller. So I'm going to mute just a second, and I'm going to set my stuff up. Okay, so now I've got it set up to where in the background here you can see onyx-vj, and I've got the camera up so you can see everything I'm going to be doing on the Kaoss Pad here. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to partial desktop so you can see everything that I'm doing. The main piece of software you're going to need to use the Kaoss Pad with onyx-vj is called MIDI 2. This is a JavaScript, or a Java applet, sorry, that opens up. As you can see, it has the KP3 pad, and the output is Microsoft MIDI Mapper. This comes with Onyx, or you can download it separately. All you need to do is click on Start Server, connect MIDI, and then you can minimize the software. You don't need it anymore after this. Then go over to Onyx and you want to click on the MIDI button over here, and it'll bring up this little window. Go and click on Connect, and then over here you should say Connected. So let's go ahead and start setting controls up. Go and click on Learn, and that will turn everything on the screen pink. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start setting up some controls. I'm going to change the layer type up here. Let me go ahead and get that zoom back in there. So click on the layer type, and then I'm going to take my finger and I'm just going to move up on the side here. Since I have 8 controls across here, I can control up to 8 different things just using the pad. So right now I've set the layer type. So I'm going to do that to just the first 2, just to show you. Now I'm going to grab the second one. And then to get out of Learn mode, just come down here to this gray box and just click. Now whenever I move these, see if we can get them both in here. I'm going to move this down, come over here. Now whenever I move the first layer, it's going to change layer 1, and then the second one will change layer 2. So now I can start putting stuff in here. So let me go ahead and switch the output. I'm going to go back to custom, and I'm going to show you the output of Onyx. Back into single mode here, and the iToy. So we can see the output. One moment, please. Oh, I see what I'm doing. Sorry. I have this backwards. Okay, so we'll make the background just the output of Onyx. This is what you'll see if you have a projector hooked up or anything like that. So you can see the output. So I'm going to go ahead and drag some sample files up. I'm going to grab that and that. And now, if I change the layer type here on layer 1, you start seeing the changes happening there. That right there is inverted, and layer 2 is normal. That's inverted. And if I change layer 2, you can see how that affects layer 1 as well. What this does is it gives you a quicker way to make changes in onyx-vj or any software that supports MIDI input without having to use the mouse, which can greatly improve things. Don't forget that onyx-vj also has several keyboard shortcuts you can use. So you can also use the keyboard in conjunction with the MIDI controller, or if you don't have a MIDI controller, you can set the keyboard up to do a lot of these effects itself. To show you that you can also set up more than that, let me go ahead and change this over to the follow. I'm going to get rid of that one there. Click Learn again. Everything turns pink that you can control. I'm going to go ahead and do the crossfader. Let me go ahead and get the camera up here so you can see what I'm doing on the controller as well. So I'm going to do the crossfader. So I'm going to click on the crossfader, and then I'm going to grab the one all the way over here on this side. I'm going to do that. And as you can see, the crossfader is moving. It's going from layer A to layer B. I'm going to go ahead and click out of Learn Mode. And I'm going to set layer 2 here. I'm going to set it to B. As you can see, I've got B checked here, A checked on layer 1. So now when I go over here to the output and I move my finger on the slider, it's going to fade between layer 1 and layer 2. And you can also set different effects down here under the slider. I'm going to change it to pixel transition. So now, now when I move, it's going to change. Well, this one doesn't have a very good pixel on it, I think, because of what I've got up there. But usually those would change between, they'd pixel in and out. Let's try a different effect here, see how it does. We're going to do the repeat transition. That one doesn't seem to be working either. Perhaps this version of Onyx, that doesn't work on it yet. But you can use the transition effects on there in other versions. I have an older version where this works perfectly. So that's how to set the Kaoss Pad up as a MIDI controller to be used with different software. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. If there's something that you'd like me to show closer, go ahead and ask that as well. And of course, when you're done, all you need to do is press the shift button, and that takes you back to being able to use your Kaoss Pad as a sound effects and sampler. So thanks for watching.